The views expressed by the guests on the Sias du Plessis Show are their own and do not represent the views of the show or its host. Welcome to the Sias du Plessis Show. Thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed. We appreciate your support. Today's guest, well, he's only 19 and he's one of the most exciting talents in world cricket. It's Kwena Maphaka. Let's get into it. Kwena Maphaka, thanks so much for your time. Firstly, incredible start to your international career. It's been something out of a movie. You must be absolutely thrilled with life at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. As you said, it feels like something straight out of a movie. I mean, couldn't have predicted it, and it's been awesome so far.
I know at the moment you're battling with an injury in the rehab. How's that coming along?
Yeah, rehab's going really well. We're progressing really nicely, so hopefully I'll be back out on the field soon.
Obviously, you can't share too many details, but I imagine that your body's had a little bit of time to at least rest, because since that Under-19 World Cup where you absolutely shot the lights out, it's been a roller coaster. It's been non-stop cricket.
Yeah, it has been really, really busy. Factor matric into that as well, and it gets even busier. So I think it's good that my body told me I need a bit of a break, but yeah, I'm really ready to come back firing.
Well, I can't wait to see Betway SA20 is around the corner. How's that experience been? Because like you've been thrust straight into the cauldron, not only like from a Betway SA20, but also just from an international level where at times you're probably going like, why me? And then you're going, well, this is an easy game, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think the Betway SA20 is an incredible experience for me and for other young players. I think it really just gives us the opportunity and the platform to kind of show our skills. As you said, I've been thrust in there straight in, but I think that's what I've done my whole life, basically. I've been playing with guys older than me, essentially, since I started playing cricket. So, yeah, it's been really enjoyable so far.
When was that moment where you were like, this could be a career? Was it at the Under-19 World Cup, or was it before that? Maybe just share what you were thinking, because I'm sure you were going, cricket is my sport, and I'm going to try and make a living out of this.
Yeah, funny you say that. Cricket wasn't always my sport. I was always talented in cricket, but I played a lot of other sports, and I had opportunities to go professional or to play high level in other sports. Played tennis, pretty high level, hockey, pretty high level, football, decent level as well. I think cricket chose me more than I chose cricket. And the moment I'd say that I really felt like this could be something, I want to say 15. I was at a national camp, and Coach Shukri Conrad was actually at the camp. He was the one who was running everything. And he saw me bowling in the nets, and then Mr. Patrick Maroney, the current national convener of selectors, was behind the nets taking videos. And I was like, okay, something's happening here. I don't know if they're videoing me or if they're videoing the batsman, but something's happening here. And then a day later, they had announced that I was going to be a part of the Under-19 team when I was 15. So I think that was really the moment where I was like, okay, cool. This could happen. I could make a living out of this. This is really what I want.
How did that go down at school? Because like you said, you just like completed matric in the middle of what has been a breakthrough part of your career. I mean, you're a household name now. A left arm quick. It's something we've been looking for a long time. I know Janssen is also left arm, and he can be quite fast at times, but he's not an out-and-out like 150 clicks type of guy, if that's fair to say. But that must have been something to grapple with as a 15-year-old at school going, wow, potentially my future is being mapped out for me.
Yeah, it was really quite crazy. I think my whole journey through high school playing cricket has been a wild ride. So obviously when I was 15, got into the Under-19 squad, traveled with them, played with them. When I was 16, I missed the first month and a bit of school at my first Under-19 World Cup. And since then, it's kind of been playing cricket at school, missing school, catching up. Yeah, it's been crazy, but it was really enjoyable, and I think it taught me a lot of lessons.
Incredible lessons, lifelong lessons, right?
100%.
And from memories of school, obviously, like you said, you played hockey at a very high standard, but your final game for St. Stithians, was that like surreal, knowing that you had been pretty much in the first team for ages and now it was time to say goodbye? Was that a surreal moment for you?
Yeah, 100%. I think you never really notice how quickly things fly by until the end is near. I think my whole high school career, final hockey game, final cricket game, final chapel, all those kind of things, you're thinking to yourself, oh no, that's ages away, and then it gets to you and you're like, wow, like it's done. It's actually so mad.
I mean, obviously your friends are incredibly proud of you, your school's proud of you. Do you get much time to hang out, at least with your mates these days? Because, I mean, it's been hotels, cricket grounds, nets, hotels, airplanes, that sort of thing. It's been, for the longest time, you've been traveling around the world to play cricket.
Yeah, it's been pretty difficult to see my closest friends, mainly because they study in Cape Town. So every time I come back to Joburg, they're away. And every time they come back to Joburg, I'm away. So it's been difficult, but yeah, whenever we find the time to see each other, we are there.
I know I said that it's been something out of a movie, but you've also put in the hard yards, right? I think it's important to point out the fact that not only have you got this incredible skill set, you've also got gas, the hard yards, the amount of deliveries you've already bowled in this short space of time. There must be a feeling of, someone has seen the yards I've put in. They've seen the overs I've bowled, the wickets I've taken. And that must feel good to be recognized for all those hard efforts.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's human nature to want to be recognized for your hard work. And I've probably put in a lot more work than people seem to think. Obviously, as you said, it's been a movie, but behind the scenes, a lot of work has gone into making the movie happen. And I'm just really thankful that all the hard work has paid off so far.
I suppose hard work gets you so far, skills get you so far, but now it's the next sort of step, right? It's maintaining at a level which is not high school cricket first team anymore. This is international cricket. And I mean, you've flirted with it. No, flirted is not the right word. You've been with under 19s, couple World Cups there, but this is a huge jump. That moment when you had the ball in your hand for your first delivery in international cricket, tell me about the nerves. Tell me about the occasion. It must have been something properly surreal.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely surreal. I think beforehand, the nerves didn't really get to me. Most of the time, I'd just be playing and I'd just be thinking, do the same thing that you've always done, do the same thing that you've always done. And then probably like 5 minutes before the game started, I was like, okay, now it's happening. The nerves started kicking through. But yeah, I just felt like once I delivered my first ball, I was going to be 100% in the battle. And that's exactly what happened.
And how much of it is a feel thing? Because with fast bowlers, it's rhythm, how the ball's coming out of your hand, how the batsman's reacting, how the keeper's taking the ball. There's a lot going on at that moment. I mean, how much are you paying attention to all those different things and going in the back of your mind, let me not bowl a wide in my first delivery, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's always some other things that you focus on. As you said, it's a feel thing. When you're releasing the ball and the keeper's taking it and you hear the sound off his gloves and you're like, okay, it's coming out quick, it's coming out really nicely. Like, you just feel good about yourself, and that can translate into performances. But I think the main thing that I've learned over the time is even when you're not feeling good, you have to find a way to go out and perform. And probably the most difficult thing at international level is finding ways to perform even when you're not feeling good.
How do you do that? Like, obviously don't give away your secrets here because there's other batsmen chomping at the bit to hear about you. But I suppose it's all about getting the mechanics right, sort of just resetting at the top of your mark and just bowling to the game plan.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of cricket is game awareness, especially at international level. Just being aware of what's happening, where the game is, what the batsmen might be thinking, and then just having a clear mind and making sure that you know your plan and you deliver your plan.
Wow. I'm just thinking and looking through your record here. I mean, 18 years, 137 days, you make your international career. That was August last year, right? West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
That has like been a blur. How is it feeling now, looking back on this sort of period that you into the national team? Yes, you've got to fight for your place like any other player, but there's clearly a plan for this next generation, the Kwena Maphakas, to spearhead the attack. Has it been a time where you can reflect and go, wow, this has happened and I'm just so pumped and so hungry to keep playing at this level?
Yeah, I think what I try to do is every 3 or 4 months, I just look back on the past 3 or 4 months and kind of reflect on everything, see how everything's gone. It's been really difficult because of how much I've been playing, because of how little time I've had to reflect. But I think that's a really important part of the game, especially when you play at this level. And yeah, really, really excited, really hungry to keep going and to do the stuff.
What is the driving force? What puts the fire in your belly?
I want to be the best bowler in the world, every format.
Okay. And that's the driving force that will make sure that when you come back, you're taking wickets, you're bowling fast, you're intimidating batsmen, and you're doing a job for South Africa.
100%.
Oh, man. I love that. That's fantastic. And I love the vision, the drive, the determination to be that apex predator, right? How much has a KG Rabada influenced you, a Temba Bavuma? Because, you know, at the end of the day, like, KG is one of the greatest we've ever seen.
100%.
And I'm sure he's the benchmark for you.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's been on top of his game for so long. People like Temba, Aiden, they've been on top of their game for so long. When you look at international standings, they're always not far off. And it's just being in a community with guys like that, understanding how they think about the game, seeing how they go about their business, and understanding that that's what you need to do or match or even be better at to be where they are.
You've been welcomed into the team. I see what I can see on the television when you guys are playing. You're very much part of that side, and it just seems like there's a good culture at the moment. There's a good vibe. There's good energy, and all sort of playing towards the ultimate goal. I mean, Test Championship, great, but there's still a thing of a World Cup that I have no doubt is not far away. But it just feels to me like there's a good vibe in the squad at the moment, and when you guys are playing, the energy is good. Like, it feels like we're here and we're out to dominate whenever we get a chance.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of the stuff that Temba, Aiden, the senior players and Coach Shooks have come up with is being the best version of ourselves and making sure that we win, finding a way, even when it's tough, even when we seem to be out of it, and creating a bond with all the players, you know. You don't have to like everyone and be best friends with everyone, but once you get out onto the field, you know, that's your brother and you're fighting for your country alongside your brother.
And you're playing for that badge, right?
Exactly.
How's it been integrating into the squad? I mean, as a newbie, you must have also felt like, am I dreaming? You know, like, with all due respect, obviously, but at a net session, like you're bowling to Aiden or to Temba or whoever it is, you must be going like, okay, I need to prove myself here. I need to make sure that the belief is repaid. But has it been tricky at times to integrate, or was there a bit of nerves? Just take me there as someone who would never experience what you've experienced.
Yeah, I definitely think first training session, obviously a lot of nerves. You feel that you have to prove yourself, but I think what the guys have done really well in terms of integrating me into the team is they never made me feel the nerves. I think it was more of an internal thing where I felt that I had to prove myself. I felt that I need to show people why I'm here, but I never felt pressure from them to say, you need to prove yourself. Yeah, they were really good with that kind of stuff, just making sure that I feel good and making sure that, I know that I'm a part of the team. I think my first training session, when I first met everyone, it was all smiles, a lot of conversations, getting to know me as a human being before getting to know me as a cricketer. And I think that's what pushes the Proteas so far.
You look at the Premier League teams and the guys do the initiations where they have to sing songs and that sort of thing. Did you have to do anything like that initially?
So we have a bonfire for every new member of the team. And in that bonfire, people get to ask you questions. You basically just explain yourself from your point of view. People get to ask you questions about how you view yourself, how you view your career, what you want to get out of playing for the Proteas, what you feel playing for the badge, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a really special moment in everyone's career, in everyone's journey.
That's incredible. I like the fact of rather doing a bonfire than humiliating you, singing Backstreet Boys or whatever. I know you're a huge fan, but I just think that open transparency just makes creates this environment where you can feel like I'm respected. I'm good enough to be here, but people are getting to know me as a human being. And I think that's amazing.
100%.
It makes you just feel part of the team, right?
Yeah.
Because I imagine in past, and not specifically in your case, but youngsters have broken through, gone into these change rooms and gone, oh my God, how am I going to perform at this level? Because there's this hierarchy, the hazing, whatever it is. But I think where cricket is and the national team just makes me feel so much more confident in how things are going about and the environment and the culture that's been created.
No, 100%. I think the team culture is something that's been worked on for years, decades even. And I think it's gotten to a point where it's not even something that people need to think about anymore. It's just become a part of us, a part of our nature, a part of the team. And I think that's really special.
Tell me about IPL. 2 IPLs now at the age of, that's mad. But first Mumbai and now Rajasthan. How's that journey been?
Yeah, it's been difficult, but it's been really, really, really rewarding, really, really good, really fun. Obviously not nice to spend 3 months away from home, but I think the main thing that's been really cool is being able to interact with all of these players, international guys, local guys, like all these superstars, and you kind of just get to learn from them, some of the best players in the world. Again, just like in the Proteas setup, you look at these guys and you're like, okay, that's the level that I need to be at if I want to be the best in the world. And I think those guys are so forthcoming with information, advice and all that kind of stuff. And it's just so special to be a part of something like that.
How do you take advice or the sort of IP that these guys have? I mean, it must be, there's got to be a fine balance, I imagine, as someone who's played 100 tests for Australia or England or, South Africa or whatever it may be, or they've played countless ODIs, T20s. Is it a case of you approaching them or them coming to you? How does that dynamic work?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the type of individual you are and the type of individual they are. I always say, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive. So some of the guys have been really, really forthcoming, From the first session, they're there, they're in your ear. They say, listen, this is what I think, this is what I think. Some guys, you have to go to them and kind of ask, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? But yeah, it's been really cool, and I've enjoyed everything.
I think it's such an amazing opportunity to be able to mix it up with these guys. Yes, 3 months is a very long time, and I suppose in India you can't just stroll around the streets anymore. I mean, people know exactly who you are, right?
Yeah, there's actually quite a funny story. So During the IPL, my birthday comes 8th of April, every single IPL. And so my first IPL when I was with Mumbai, there's fans that stand outside the gates of the hotel basically every waking moment of every day.
For real.
Yeah.
Not just when the team's moving in and out.
No. Every waking moment of every
wild.
day, there will be people outside the hotel. And so it was my birthday. My mom and my brother were with us. And so I decided, you know what, let's go to the mall. Let's do some shopping. Let's have some dinner. Let's do something for my birthday. And we step outside the hotel. We're getting into our shuttle. And I just hear from the gates, "Happy birthday, Kwena!" Like a bunch of people screaming. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like it's really difficult to get used to, but it's also something so special, you know, feeling like, wow, people are actually seeing me, people are noticing me. Can get overwhelming at times, but I just try to see it as what it is, as people loving me for the cricket that I play and just supporting me 100%.
That noise in the stadium, the volume gets pretty loud, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is it something that you're used to now, having 2 IPLs under your belt, or is it something that you can never really get used to?
I don't think you can ever really get used to it. I think when I'm playing and when I'm bowling, everything shuts down. I block out all the noise. But every IPL you go to, there'll probably be a meeting beforehand, before the first game. And it's like, guys, focus on the captain, focus on the keeper. You won't be able to hear them scream. You just have to look at them. You know, if they wave at you, you wave back. Those kind of things. It's almost like you communicate in sign language on the field because you can't scream at anyone. They won't be able to hear you.
That is insane. I mean, Kagiso Rabada, we've had him on the show, and he's also like, playing IPL in India is one thing. Playing an international in India is also just deafening. Like you're almost telepathic with some, you know, of your players. You have to read the captain. I can imagine that going out there in the field, your alert levels or that sort of heightened awareness because of the noise and that overstimulation of the senses is something that over time you'll probably just find where you fit into this mix and how you respond to the skipper or when it's your turn to bowl. Or I'm just trying to sort of process that. That is wild for me. How do you anticipate sort of like taking to the field with all that noise, getting to the top of your mark? Firstly, I think the pitches are like this, right? Something like this. Yeah. Not much in it for you. Is it about game plans to specific players that you've worked out beforehand, or is it a case of you going, all right, well, I've got my areas I want to bowl, let's adapt to that sort of scenario?
Yeah, I think in the modern game, you know, you always have to do your analysis, you have to do your homework, you have to understand the players that you're going to bowl to. But at the end of the day, you play what's in front of you, you know. On the day, some guy might be really good through the leg side normally, and then you're like, okay, let me cut off the leg side. I'm going to bowl to the offside, and then he smashes you over cover 4 times in a row, and then you're like, okay, something different needs to happen. I think it's really just reading the game, reading the conditions, reading the situation, and adapting to that, finding a way.
At Betway, we don't just reward you for playing, we reward you for staying. Introducing Betway Rewards. Earn points on every bet you place. It's that simple. You can also convert your points to cash whenever you like. With Betway, loyalty always pays off. Join the action today and start earning points.
You said to me earlier that you want to be the best bowler in all 3 formats. You've played Test cricket now, and it's still very early on in your career, but has that Test cricket bug bitten properly? Because there's a few cricketers that have been in here and said it's the ultimate. And yes, there's a lot of white ball cricket out there, but putting on the white shirt, going out 5 days of battle, it's the ultimate challenge.
Yeah, I think the Test bug had bitten me even before I played Test cricket. I always used to watch on the TV I'd sit there and analyze the guys over, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to set someone up, all that kind of stuff. So I think just having the experience for myself has just heightened that. And I think there's a certain allure about Test cricket, you know. There's an aura about it. Put on the baggy green. We got the knitted jerseys back now.
Those are so cool.
Really excited about that. I think it's just like, there's something about it. It's difficult to explain, but there really is just something about it that grabs you and never lets go.
And when you get that baggy green, that must be a special moment.
Super special. I'm not someone who cries a lot. I almost came to tears when I got it.
For real, hey?
Yeah. It was really, really
I
special.
can't remember who gave you your cap.
Piet Botha.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, that is truly remarkable, especially when it's something you've kind of dreamt of, right? And I imagine you've been dreaming about it since you were in single figures, right?
100%.
Because a lot's happened in double figures.
Yeah.
And many more tests, like I suppose reaching milestones, winning games. That's part of the dream, part of the goal.
100%. I think Test cricket is a real test of your skill and of your character, and I think that's where I want to be for as long as I can be.
Was it tough watching? Not that it was tough watching us beat India, but tough not being part of the mix?
Yeah, obviously, always want to be there, always want to be a part of the mix with the guys, but everything happens for a reason, and I'm really happy that the guys could pull through an incredible win against India.
I don't mind us beating India in 3 days, but sometimes I love a test match that goes down to the final session. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some proper test matches where it's the batting team has 2 wickets, they need to score 100 runs or whatever it may be. Is watching test cricket different now, considering you've played, as opposed to when you were sort of just absorbing all this cricket content all the time, wanting to play for the senior national team at test cricket level?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's still a lot of things you can learn from watching test cricket on the TV. But once you've been there, you kind of have an understanding, and you see the game at a deeper level than when you're just watching when you're younger, trying to see what the guys are doing. Now, I watch a ball, I can pinpoint, okay, this is what this guy's trying to do. This is how he's trying to do it. Whereas when I was younger, I was like, okay, he's swinging the ball in 5 times. He's going to swing it away and try to nick the guy off. Now it's little subtle changes, coming wider of the crease, coming closer to the crease, releasing the ball from a different angle, all that kind of stuff. You look at it and you're like, wow, this game really is a test of character and a test of skill.
As a left arm quick, obviously, I mean, I know Kagiso Rabada plays a big role in your life, but who are the sort of left arm quicks that you look at and go, you know, that's legit, I want to learn from those guys? Because there's not many guys who are left arm quick, but there's a few that are proper left arm, like greats of the game already. Yeah,
I think my top 3, I'd probably go Mitchell Johnson. Obviously, watching him on the TV, the mustache.
No plans to go there yet, eh?
No.
You're quite happy with what you got?
Yeah, happy with what I got. Just a really, really intimidating guy. Mitch Stark, obviously another lefty from Australia. He's been incredible over, so long. It's been so long. And then Trent Boult. I've actually been fortunate enough to have a few conversations with Bolty. And I mean, the way he sees the game, the way he reads the game, he's so friendly as well. It's just, it's incredible to interact with him.
Also just a master with the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
He really is so accurate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you look at these guys and you go where Kwena Maphaka is at the moment, obviously you are still early doors when it comes to an international career. But what are some of the lessons you've taken out of their approaches that you want to potentially apply to your career? Like you say, you've had conversations with Trent Boult, who's one of the best to ever do it. But there's also a Kwena Maphaka chapter.
100%. I think one of the biggest things about being a left-arm seamer is swinging the ball. Obviously have to, if you want to be one of the best in the world. Being able to swing the ball, swing it late, and swing it even where the ball doesn't really move a lot. I think that's a massive thing, being a left arm seamer. And the other thing is ruthless aggression, you know. Not only as a left arm seamer, but as a South African, it's almost in our DNA to be aggressive fast bowlers. And I think leaning into that is only going to help me.
You see yourself as an enforcer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've definitely got the speed. I imagine also like it's part of your job to remind a batsman that he can't just sort of lunge onto the front foot and try and hit you through the covers.
Yeah, 100%. It's part of the job, but it's a part of the job that I do quite enjoy.
And how's the chirping game coming on?
Honestly, I'm not the biggest chirper.
Okay.
I'll have a word or two if I feel it's necessary. I don't really like to get into big confrontations. Maybe when I get really, really heated, then that will change. It did change in high school. I normally didn't chirp at all. One or two heated arguments, and I gave a bit of stick. But yeah, normally I'm just a quiet guy who goes about his business. Every once in a while, I'll have a word just to remind the guys that we're playing international cricket.
Have you been chirped back yet?
Oh, quite a few times.
Oh, really?
Not even chirped back, just chirped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, as a youngster coming onto the scene, people wanna let you know that this isn't high school, this isn't under 19. You're playing big boy cricket now.
So they remind you quite often, right?
Yeah.
And not that you always want to be batting, but do you enjoy the batting side of it?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
I think a few more bumpers, I might not enjoy it as much. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy batting. I batted a lot when I was younger. I actually started cricket as an all-rounder.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really do enjoy the batting side of things, and I am working on my batting, hopefully getting up the order.
Okay. So where would you ideally like to bat?
Probably 8, 9,
Okay.
somewhere there.
All right.
Yeah.
And you were telling me just before we walked in and sat down, someone who's also a teammate at Rajasthan, right, is Jafra Archer, and you've had is it a privilege? No, it's not a privilege. To watch, yes, when he's bowling, but to face, not so nice.
Not as nice. I think the way he bowls it's really frightening, because he almost strolls in and you think, okay, like he's quick, but he can't be that quick. And then he releases the ball and you don't see it. And then you're like, okay, it really is that quick. And once you face the first ball, the jog in isn't really something that you look at. It's more of an intimidation tactic, I think, because you just have to wait that much longer to know that the ball is coming quickly at you. It's not fun at all.
And in that instance, it's all about keeping your head still and in theory, and not moving too much at the crease, right? Because I suppose when he's coming at you and it's 145 plus clicks, it's easy to forget the basics.
Yeah, 100%. I think the first time I faced someone really quick was actually our sidearm thrower, Brendan Kleinans.
Okay.
So the first time I faced him, I was 15. He was working with the under-19s. And yeah, everything I knew about batting went out the window. And then I was like, okay, I need to learn how to face quick bowlers. And so from there, I've been working with a lot of quicker stuff. And I think I've learned not to forget when the ball is coming quickly. But yeah, it's difficult, even for the best batters in the world, to face a ball that's coming really quickly at them. So yeah, it's something that I'm working on, something that I'm continuing to learn. But yeah, I think I've made some pretty good progress.
And yet there's some batsmen who look like they've all the time in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch. Just this guy's bowling rapidly. Like it's got the change room, sort of paying attention.
Yeah.
Yet it's lovely to watch. Who have you found has been the toughest to bowl to so far?
Ooh, I would say probably Travis Head.
Okay.
I think this is where I really learned, that not everything happens before the game. You look at him, we had certain plans to him. He likes to hit through the offside a lot. He gives himself room, hit through the offside. So the plan was to tuck him up and bowled a few, tucked him up, bang, six. And then you're like, okay, now the plan needs to change. And I don't think I was mature enough to realize it at the time. So he's probably been the most difficult batter to bowl to so far.
And in the SA team, around the nets, that sort of thing. I mean, obviously you played a bit of domestic cricket against them, but in the SA team, we've got some proper batters.
Yeah, 100%. I think. Now.
Have you bowled to Quinny yet?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet.
That might be an experience.
Might be, yeah. I think probably the toughest to bowl to at the moment, Temba or Aiden.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Temba just is such a great stroke player. Aiden also just lovely to watch.
Yeah.
So you have to have your A game there.
You have to really have your A game. The minute you even a millimeter off, it's gone.
Well, you've mentioned the two skippers, right? If you do get them out in the nets, are you allowed to give it a little, or is it like, sorry, skip?
No, I think, again, South African fast bowling DNA is to be aggressive. So when you get a wicket, in the net is not really a big celebration, but a little, yeah, got it. Cheers, mate. Yeah.
Gwen, I've got to ask you, looking at the summer ahead, there's a lot of cricket coming. Where are you now in terms of your evolution as a cricketer? Because you've had to learn very quickly and learn on the job. But I feel like where you are now compared to just sort of a year ago, you've two very different cricketers because of that IP that you've taken on board and what you've been exposed to.
Yeah, 100%. I think I've grown a lot in the past year. There's still a lot of growth to go. But I think I see myself as someone who can compete in all stages and at all points in every game. And as I said in an interview before, I really want to come out on top every single time. I know it's not easy to do and probably won't happen. You can't win every game. But every battle that I get in with every batter, I do want to win and I want to find a way to win.
And in terms of working on things like the margins are so fine at international level, and you mentioned with Travis Head, for example, is it a case of just sort of taking it one delivery at a time? And I know I'm really, really simplifying this, but it's in those fine margins, the 1% that people talk about, where people achieve greatness. And then that's my humble opinion. But it comes down to literally every delivery on its own, as opposed to grouping them in an over of 6. Is that a fair comment? Is that something that's maybe what separates the goods from the greats, is being able to, in that moment, to be able to make sure that those fine margins are met?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you look at it, you see a good bowler, he goes and takes a wicket, and then the next ball he gets crunched for 6. Whereas a great bowler, he takes a wicket, the next ball's a dot ball. It's just focusing on every single delivery, keeping it as simple as possible, knowing that you have a plan and not thinking too far ahead. You always have to be a step ahead, but if you're 5 steps ahead, you actually forget what happened on step 1. And I think that's the thing that really does separate the goods from the greats.
Kwena, what is... Let's put it this way. What is on your wish list going forward now? Because you've come into an environment where the team's reached a World Cup final, Test Championship, won. We all know in South Africa that winning a World Cup is a game changer. Look at the Springboks, right? They've done it back to back. It's a couple, they got 4 in the bag. For you guys, is that something that's, I would say, not top of mind, but it's a conversation that's had?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone has their own reasons to want to win a World Cup, and everyone has their own drivers and motivators. But at the end of the day, the goal is still the same, you know. No matter why you want to achieve it, you still want to achieve it. And I think that's something that plays on the minds of a lot of South African cricketers. 2026 T20 World Cup in India, that one is one to watch out for. And then obviously 2027 on home soil, that will be really special if we're able to pull that through.
If I look at those World Cups, potentially swan songs for a couple players too, and I'm not going to get into names, but I think it's quite obvious that there's a few people that, should they win a World Cup, that would be the perfect way to sign off a career. But I look at the generation that you're in now, Lohandre Pretorius, Dewald Brevis, yourself. It's exciting young players that are being exposed to the highest level. And for me, that bodes well as this sort of transition, not a transition period, but a succession happens. Amongst the three of you, is that something you guys are consciously aware of, that you are the next generation?
I think it's something that we don't look into too deeply, but we all have an understanding of what our job is, of where we are going, and of what we're going to be doing in the next few years.
I think Lohandre and you go way back. Dewald's a little bit older, but I think even someone like Tristan Stubbs, for example, you know, there's this anticipation, excitement. Do you guys feel a little bit of that expectation? And I'm not using the word pressure because that comes standard with the roles that you play. But do you feel that anticipation, that little bit of excitement around you at the moment?
Yeah, 100%. I think as a young player bursting onto the scene, I mean, as a young group bursting onto the scene, some guys have been there a little bit longer than others, but I think we're all still in our bursting onto the scene, or have just burst onto the scene period. I think there's a lot of excitement around us, a lot of anticipation of what we're going to do, how our careers are going to pan out. And I think we're all really excited about that. And we all understand that not only for us, but for the teams that we play for, the country that we represent, it's of paramount importance to kind of not take that lightly.
I suppose wearing that, sometimes it's a white, sometimes it's a green shirt, sometimes it's yellowish color with green sleeves. But that privilege, that opportunity, that honor is not lost on you.
No, definitely not. I think the most special thing about representing your country, representing South Africa, is you're representing some people who love you, who know you personally, and some people who don't even know that you exist. I mean, not everyone in South Africa watches cricket. Not everyone in South Africa has the privilege or the opportunity to watch cricket. And I think that's the real importance of representing your country, you know. You're wearing the badge for not only the people next to you, the people behind you, the people in front of you, the people that love you, the people that hate you, but for people that don't even know you. And that sense of pride is something that's never lost on me.
Kwena, last one. Fast forward 10 years. Dream with me a little bit here. What would you like that CV to say?
Wow, 10 years time. Haven't thought about that too. I think I have general concepts. I wouldn't say I have a real big 10-year plan, but one of the things on there would be a World Cup winner, and definitely household name / top 10 bowlers currently in the world. Those are the two main things that would be on there.
And hopefully we're playing a lot more test cricket, so you can get close to that triple figures.
100%.
Kwena Maphaka, thank you so much for coming in. Thanks for being honest. Thanks for sharing your journey so far. And I think you can be incredibly proud. I know this is just the beginning of this chapter in your international career, but I've no doubt it's going to be a successful one, and keep up the amazing work.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Always welcome.